Robert the Arm Vapor here. Today, going to go over something that I've had a long time, and that is the Origen dripper. O-R-I-G-E-N, made by Norbert. And I'll give you all the links and stuff like that later. But this is it. It's a 22 millimeter stainless steel 510 dripping atomizer. Single or dual coil you can wick it as. And I have to admit, okay, it is now my preferred dripper of choice. Not to say that the atomic, which I love, okay, is any slouch, but the atomic's not a 22 millimeter. Therefore, when it comes to fitting it on top of something, this looks really nice. The atomic looks, well, the atomic looks the way it does. This is a nice, pretty atomizer. And I'll give you the link where I got it. But this has some very special features to it. Let's open it up. So I'm going to put it on here. Okay, and just take this off. Take that off. And here we have the base. This is, you can run this in single or dual coil configuration. And let's get some little perspective here. You see these juice wells? Look at those juice wells. This thing holds a ton of juice. Let me just stick that down in there. That's how deep that juice well is. I mean, a ton of juice goes in there. A ton. Okay. You notice the coils are vertical, not horizontal. That's another thing that's different about this. Knurled nut on top of a brass post that has an eyelet. So that's where you would thread your positive leads through. Two brand new coils I put on there. Micro coils. These were wrapped using a that's it. My usual number 0 Phillips head. There are 8 wraps around there, which equals, as far as a single coil, they would ohm out as 1.6 ohm. As far as putting 2 in here, this should ohm out, all things being equal, let's say 0.7, 0.8, 0.8. This is a phenomenal dripper. The O-rings on this are perfect. Not too tight, not too soft, just right. Easy to pull apart. But look at the size of this piece of stainless steel. Look at that. And you notice the air hole configurations. You got 3 sets of 3, small, medium, and large. Small, medium, large. So you would use the middle set for single coil and the 2 outer sets for your dual coil. And when you put it on here, this would go on top of it. It's got 2 holes, one on either side. So when you use it in a single coil configuration and you put this on, it blocks off the other side. But once you get this on, let me show you. All right, let's say I'm using the largest configuration hole. I'll just set that up. And there you go. There you go. Now, you can even further adjust it by moving that little top cap there. See that? Okay, so you really can adjust this for any type of airflow that you want. Very flexible in that degree. And look how thick this is. It does come with this drip tip. Stainless steel, not bad. Works well. Again, look how thick that is. Look at how deep those juice wells are. I haven't seen a clone of this. And it may be because you need some serious steel in order to do this. Okay? You need some serious chunk of steel to make this. So, it may be that the cloning market just says, you know, that's a lot of steel. Well, let's not mess with that. We don't want to spend that kind of money. But, okay, let's do something. I need to put some wicks in here. This provides you such a phenomenal vape. And I've used it a lot as far as single coil. I've only just recently started using dual coil in this. So let's pick apart some cotton. A little cotton ball here. Okay. Okay, let's unravel that. Some of these cotton balls are easier to do than others. Let's take my scissors. Let's cut a chunk. Okay, let's cut a chunk. All right. Now, if you watch my other videos dealing with when I put in wicks for like the Genesis atomizers, using cotton, how I go through how important it is to fluff it up and make sure it's really fluffed up and not compact, which is true. That's the way you want it because you want your cotton to be able to wick fairly, you know, efficiently and not be all bound up. It's not the case in a dripper. You don't have to be that critical because you are dripping on it. It's not like it has to wick up through a tank. Like here's the Kraken with the cotton wicks in it. So I'm just going to take a chunk of this. Chunk, 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 chunk. All right, so I got like that. I'm just going to, you know, put a little squeezy tail on the end of it. And I'll bunch this up a little bit, kind of round it out a little bit. Right. Not really a big deal. Maybe I'll wet it a little bit, make it easier. And then I'm going to take this. Let me change my hands over. And I'm going to feed it. Let me scrunch up a little more. Okay, that's good. Feed it through the top of here. Going to take my, where are they? Here we are. My, what do you call these things? And just start pulling that through, okay? Hold up a second. Pull that through. Get a piece of a chunk like through. We have all kinds of noise going on back here. Let me stop and restart. Back with you. All right, so I've got this using my tweezers. I got it down through the vertical coil. Okay, so you can see that, right? Good. And I just keep bringing it down. All right, and that's basically what I'm looking for. I'm going to trim it off. Sorry about the noise in the background. But you can't control certain people. And I'm just stuffing it down into that juice well. I don't want to pack it. Just want to get it in there. All right. See how that looks down in there? I don't have to fill it all up. Don't have to pack the crap out of it because it'll swell up once it gets juice on it. The rest of it, I'm laying the scissors on top of the center post and just going to cut it. All right, there I go. And I'm going to do that on the other side. So let me take a piece of cotton. All right. Like I said, you don't have to go crazy trying to fluff this stuff all up because it's not like it's got to fight gravity really to wick from a tank up. All right. Stick it through the other coil. Grab the little nubbin with my tweezers. Come on. Almost had it. Almost had it. There we go. And then I'm just gonna pull down and out. Pull down, out. All right, pull it down. Okay, I got a good amount through there. Bring that over. Right. Cut that. Stick that down in a juice well. Just basically laying it down there. Not going crazy with it. All right. Cut off the cottontail. All right. So there we got. All right. No biggie. Let's wet this up. What are we going to use? Have some freak show bed of nails. Let's try that out. All right. Dropping some stuff in the juice wells. Let's do the cotton heads. Get this all nice and saturated. Come on, baby. Saturate up. Want to make sure it's nice and wet around where the coils are. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, I'm going to settle this down here. Let's take off the Kraken. Woo. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let's... All right. Let me do this again. Reading at 0.8 ohms. Okay. Let's fire it, see what it does. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay. So now, all right. I'm going to use the 2 outer sets of holes. Okay, there's the middle, there's the 2 outer. I'm going to line up the largest hole on each coil. Right? Take my topper and place that over those 2 holes. Light it up. Okay. So easy peasy. I have one there. Turn around. One there. Take my drip tip. Maybe lube that up. There we go. Nope, there we don't go. Boy, that thing is tight. Sometimes shit just doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. So, make sure it's still all lined up. Yep. Ooh. Yes, sir. This produces insane flavor. This produces a rich, creamy vape. If your thing is custards, something buttery, you're going to notice an amazing, pardon me, amazing difference that this is going to produce. Dare I say, this is probably closest you could come to an orgasmic vape. Dare I say that? The Origen RDA, rebuildable dripping atomizer. Not cheap, but if you're looking for an exceptional, and I mean exceptional, rebuilding dripping atomizer that has some unique features to it, and this thing holds a ton of juice. I can easily, with this dropper, easily 15 drops. Easily. I can push it to even 20. Easily holds, I mean, probably close to, certainly like 3/4 of a mil you can put in this. All right? Those wells are insane. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Again. Let's take a look. Let's get the cocktail up there out of the way. What can I tell you? But can you see the juice in those wells? Do I need to stop again? Let's not. Let's try to get through this. Well, everybody there in the family will be yakking away about the laundry in the background. Yak, yak, yak. Yak, 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 yak. Yak, 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 yak. Mother-in-law, my wife, my sister-in-law. This is my life. Robert, the Arm Vapor. Bye.